because they aren't the same, or they make fun of them. And, you know, I found that a lot of them end up leaving their group of friends and going, you know, hanging out with a new group of friends that really challenges them and motivates and inspires them. I, for one, had a very similar experience, you know. There's certain groups of people that I can talk more openly about my goals and dreams and where I'm headed. And there's other people where I just kind of shut up about because they're just not on the same type of level of aspiration. And it's all fine and great, but I think that you should, you know, you really should start spending more time with the group of friends that does challenge and push you and inspire you.
I definitely agree with that. Actually, I was in a relationship that she didn't support my ideas and my creativity, and I felt that I couldn't totally be myself.
You felt stifled.
Correct. But as we're saying earlier, I am thankful for that relationship because it really made me stronger to stand up for myself and to start to believe it for myself.
She was a teacher.
Yes.
Along the way. Yes.
I taught her some things too.
Every relationship is like a university. It's like a college university. You know, it teaches you so much. I don't regret any one of my relationships because every one of them taught me so much. And that's why I never tell anybody else who's breaking up with somebody or who thinks, I wish I never would have met this person. And I said, well, you know what? Thank the person. They serve their purpose, and then move on. You know, I had a client today who's he's very negative charge towards his ex-girlfriend, negative charge, but I have to just keep telling him, say thank you, you know, you served your purpose, and then you can move on. But if you keep lingering in the past and trying to make it work, that's not gonna work out too well for you because there's obviously a reason why it didn't work out. But if you wish that you never met the person, then you wouldn't be the person you are today and have evolved.
Exactly. I actually had a relationship in college that was my last semester in college, and it took me 10 years out of college to get over her.
10 years.
And you were saying earlier that, and I had to do it myself.
Wow.
Eventually, and I went through a whole ritual that I created, and she never gave me closure, so I gave myself closure and did a whole ritual. And you were saying earlier that you had done that for a client. What's sort of the process that you would help somebody out with that?
With a breakup?
Not a breakup, but kind of not necessarily breaking up, but getting past that breakup so they can attract their next relationship or whatever they want to attract.
Yeah, what I would have them do is write down everything about their relationship. You know, write them a letter if they feel like it's necessary to write them a letter, but do what you need to do to get closure. If it's talking to them and having one last conversation with them, or one last phone call or one last letter, it's important to get that out there, whether it's on paper or in person, just so that you do feel like you have that closure. And then, after that, you write down, make a list of all the things that you learned from that experience, every single thing that you learned. And then you write down make a list of all the positive things that happened as a relationship. What were the positive things about that partner that you liked, that worked? And then all the negative things about that person. So then it's like an enormous learning experience. And once your unconscious mind is very interesting. Once it allows to take the learnings from a situation, it actually allows you to move on successfully after that. So once you've figured out everything there is to learn about that relationship, and once you've gotten closure in that way, then you sort of put the book away, you thank them for serving their purpose, close the book and open the next chapter. And then once, when the next chapter occurs, then you make a list of all the things that you do want in your next relationship and build that picture of your ideal relationship and start moving towards that. I mean, it's very important to leave the past behind, absolve those negative emotions, but then move forward and put things into place that help you with the transition too. Like whether it's a ritual with friends once a week if there's a night in particular that makes you a little bit more lonely, such as Sundays, you put a ritual in place, like you do Sunday football every Sunday with your friends, or you take up a new hobby, join some new groups. I mean, it's very important too, because there is going to be a bit of a void. You have to replace that with something that's useful and productive and resourceful.
Nice. You had talked about goals, and how important is it to set goals as a couple?
It's very important to set goals as a couple, because what I said earlier about couples, either they're growing together or they're growing apart and stagnating. And it's really important to be able to set goals, get those creative juices flowing with your partner, and kind of have, and to have that brainstorming, it enhances the chemistry and attraction between a couple. And then to actually set mutual goals and you reach them together, it's like you're constantly reaching new milestones together. You're constantly growing. You're constantly being excited by each other, and that really solidifies and enhances the relationship because you've been through all this together. You've seen what it is to work together and then achieve goals together. If you're never really setting any goals together,